Okay, I'm recording it now. Yes, so I'll just start it again. Okay, so today is day 4 of the workshop, and we're going to deal with sibling rivalry, which could be the sibling, which could be a cousin, which could be his neighbor, his friend, anyone. Why there is not a relationship that is a happier connection between child and his friends or his siblings or brothers. So what is happening? So in yesterday's video, I have spoken about the brain physiology yesterday or day before yesterday about brain physiology. What I have spoken about a factor called as emotional insecurity, right? So I want you all to stress on that. Go back and look into it once again. So let me answer this question in a very simple way. Why our kids don't always like each other? So what is your answers? I want you all to type your answers in the chat box. What are your answers? Why do your kids, if there are two siblings, always there is a rivalry, or cousins or friends, there is always a fight, there is disagreement? What do you all think that, the reason is like this? Am I audible? Insecurities, says Samina. Yes, emotional insecurities. Yes, but we need to understand the insecurity from where is it arising. Right, Samina? Any other answers? Jayeshji? You have two beautiful kids. I'm sure there are fear of losing focus. Okay, importance, is that what you meant? Like, that attention on the particular self?
Yeah, yes, sorry, I meant attention, yes.
Yes, okay, fine. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Okay, so to carry on here, I'll just give you a small example that I read across in a very amazing book called by Faber. Okay, she says now, JJ, I'll take your example because you're the male here. Okay, and Abhijit is also there. So just try to correlate all the other ladies too here. Maybe stubbornness, peer pressure. Okay, yes, but the main reason here is about emotional insecurity, which I'll try to explain you all with a small example. Now, you are married, you have a beautiful wife. Okay, so after few days, you decide to get married to another beautiful lady. Okay, so you're married. So anything that comes new in your house is something that you always pay more attention to. So you take your new wife and your first wife along outside to a party. So everybody will say hi to the first wife, and they'll try to know and build that connection with the second wife. So what is happening to the first wife? The first wife is feeling neglected, even though that is not that's not the real reason. Okay, that is the normal human psychology. Okay, and so then what happens? Maybe you are supposed to go to work somewhere, and you tell your first, because your second wife is a newbie in the house, you tell your first wife to take care of her. So the first wife would be like, why I need to take care of the second child? She's not my responsibility. It is my husband's responsibility. So there is where the jealous factor starts. Sometimes, like, because she's new, she did not have some outfit, she has asked your husband has asked the first wife to share her clothes to the new wife to go out for a party. Again, the first wife will be like, oh my God, why do I need to share my things? Why can't he give her own things? Why is that I need to share? Right? And what is happening? This is what is happening with the first wife. And second wife, what is happening? There's always a lot of attention that she's getting, right? So over a period of time, are you all able to understand what is happening? Because all of you are adults, you all will understand what I'm trying to mean by the first wife and second wife. How would you feel? Type it in the chat box. If you were the first wife, how would you feel? Somebody is not muted, please mute. So how do you feel if you were the first wife? When you're jealous, yes. Left out, okay. What else? Feel neglected, yes. First wife, I did so much and now I'm neglected. Jayashji, very right. Unnoticed, says Chinner, yes. Insecure. Can you all please come with your names? I need to know your names. Galaxy A30, and there's another person who has a different name from which you all have logged in. Please type in your names, change your names, or you all can just write your names here. Who is Galaxy A30? So I can address you all. Who is by the name Galaxy A30? And there's one more number which is a very huge number. Okay. So how would you behave if you're a second wife? Write it down. How would you feel when you are a second wife? Can you hear me? Is the connection on? Okay. Kadambari. Okay. 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 Not safe. Important. Why are people always comparing me with first? JSG says. Okay. Okay. Not safe. Kiranji, what do you mean by not safe? Pamper. Amazing. Right. Okay. So you're able to understand that the relationship between first wife and second wife is same as a relationship between your first child and your second child. Are you under? Yes, lots of attention, Samina, right. So the relationship is the same. Now you all have get into the crux what is happening. And sometimes what happens is the birth order also has a lot of importance that happen that plays a role in this. For example, the first child is very is like overprotected, more important, and feel proud because of attention, right? So when the first child is born, all the attention is towards the first child, and you, because it is your first experience, you're more careful. You're more protective about the child. You want to be fixing all the things for this child, and that is how it happens. And the second child, you have an experience of parenting, of what to do when a child cries, on all these things. So you're more like carefree, and that also acts on the psyche of the child. So you all have seen most of the time that your second child is more outgoing than the first child. Do you all agree to this? If you all agree to this, please type it in the chat box. If you all don't agree to it, also type it in the chat box. Yes. So now what is happening is you all need to understand here. When the second child is very small, and the first child is also needing some attention. Suppose he's crying because his diaper is really full, or he has something has happened, and you really need to pay attention to him. So even though you were tending to the first child, you leave your first child and you go to your second child and you attend to him first and give him more importance and attention, because that child really needs. So what is happening here? The first child is feeling left out. So what will he feel inside? Oh my God, it is because of him I'm not getting attention. It is because of him I'm not getting attention. And also it so happens, most of our households, we say, you're an elder one, you need to understand. How many of y'all have experienced this in your own life? You're an elder one and you need to adjust. How many of y'all have experienced? Type a Y if you have experienced it. Me, yeah. So, Samina, Jayashji, Madhuri, all of y'all. Okay, Mansi, right. I too have experienced. I'm the second child, and so yes. So, how did y'all feel? How do y'all feel? I want y'all to type the exact emotion what you felt during those days. Sometimes even if it is no fault of yours, you are reprimanded too bada, you're the elder one, you need to understand, you need to adjust, not loved anymore. Yes, I mean, I so agree. Disappointed with parents. Okay, not justified. Right. But all these things happened, not loved, right? So all these things happened because that is how, but our parents did love us, right? But these things happened just it happened so that because they wanted to fix that problem between both the siblings. And that is the reason what happens in the long run is that connect between both the siblings becomes very less. They're not so attached. That is what happens. There are no meaningful relationships between the siblings. Yes, we are good enough, but somewhere the deep connection that needs to be there is somewhere missing. Do you all agree to me? If agree, type an agree in the chat box. It could be with personal issues. It could be with property issues. It could, all these things getting translated into every aspect of our lives. Okay, so this we need to really, really understand that, what could this kind of behavior will lead to. So I hope you all have understood why the kids don't like each other. Is this aspect of for you all clear? If it is clear, please type all clear in the chat box so that I move ahead further. Okay. Okay. So what happens is when both the kids are fighting, we try to intervene there. We try to become a judge. We try to solve the issues, So what is happening is, here comes two types of mentalities the child will develop. One would be a victim mentality and one would be an attention seeker mentality. But both of them are going to seek the attention from you. Okay, so they get into a more hatred. So what happens? You try to go there. Okay, you try to be a judge. Who started it? Why is it being done? And the younger one, as we all agreed just previously, that the younger one always gets away very easily, and the older one feels left out even though he's not at fault. And when this happens, the younger ones are very, very clever that they adapt into this victim mentality, and without our knowledge they trigger the fight, and in your absence, and when you in your presence they try to show that they are a victim, and all the bashings go to the elder one. Okay, so it is very important for us to stop and not intervene over there. So what could be the solutions for all these things? I have covered it in simple 4 steps here for you all. First would be is sit back, relax, and ignore the fight. Absolutely agree. My younger one does this. Yes. So do not pay attention to her. Do not give her more importance, Mansi. It's very clear. We'll talk about it when I head further. So sometimes what happens is when they're fighting, it's like we cannot stand it. And what we do is we go and pay attention. No matter in both the kind of personalities, whether it is a victim or a left out personality, both of them are getting some attention. So what happens is this is again fueling their attention seeking ways. This is fueling their fight. And also the second aspect of this is they will come to a unconscious conclusion in their life that whenever they are in problem, their parents are there to come and solve their problems. Okay, so they're fighting. So what we need to do is we need to equip them with the conflict resolutions tools. They need to solve their problems on their own. Okay, so for that, the first step is do not directly involve yourself over there. Sit back, ignore with your ears wide open, seeing what is happening. Okay, so that what happens every time you go in and solve their problems in whatever way, sometimes you're favoring the younger one, sometimes you're favoring the elder one, trying to maintain the balance in whatever way, still what happens is they feel that, okay, my parents are there to solve my problems. Or sometimes when they're fighting, they'll start shouting out to you, mommy, mommy, daddy, daddy, look at this fellow is doing this fellow is doing that. Does this happen to y'all? Do y'all agree to this? If yes, type a agree in the chat box. Right. So the first thing is try to sit back, relax, and ignore the fight. Sometimes, what I have observed is with my ducklings, I call them the ducklings, the hurricanes, my twins. Sometimes, they're really fighting. But then when I sit back and observe them as not being a parent and just an observer, I really enjoy their fight because they're really, I get into that. They seem to be like characters for me, like one is a teddy bear and one is a polar bear, and both of them are trying to fight each other, so it can even transform into an enjoyable when they're mostly talking verbally, when they're fighting verbally and not physically. Okay, so when if you feel that they're getting into physical mode, that is where you need to intervene. Okay, we'll go to that in the next step. So what you need to do is you have to step out of the shoes of a parent and sometimes sit back and observe their fights. What are their words telling you? The words will tell you what they are feeling, about what they feel about themselves and the front person, because they would be in a definite mode of blaming each other. One would be putting up a fight, one would be blaming. So you need to understand that chemistry, what is happening, and then accordingly you can start working with them. Okay, so this is one assignment for you all, since we are going to continue for 3 more days. So we are going to have 4 more days of this relationship of WhatsApp class going on. So for tomorrow and day after, so by day after evening, I want you all to complete this one assignment wherein you all have to sit back and observe one fight of your kids and analyze what has happened. Okay, so if I want you all to type in the chat box, will do it. See, so will do in the chat box for this assignment. You all will get a very clear picture of how the further things, what I'm going to explain to you all, what I'm going to give you all 1 or 2 tools today, which are going to help you all to handle this in a particular way. Will do. So day after tomorrow, I want it in the group. Okay, so and I'm going to give some gradings also, some pointers. I'm going to also announce 3 prizes as the diamond, gold, and the silver star medals for the parents who are going to participate. Right. So the next step, teach them to fight fair. This is very important. What happens is just a second. Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm back again. It's just that my daughter was here. She needed the attendance, so I just get attention. So we had a deal. I just reminded her of the deal, and then she went away happily that about the deal she had done with me. Okay, so the second step is that we need to teach them to be fair enough to when they're fighting. They cannot be like if you're going to break this of mine, I'm going to break that of yours. That shouldn't be there. Okay, so what you could do is you could always help them stop them at that particular moment. You tell them, okay, let's stop here. You seem to be really annoyed, and we will look into it, what is happening. And we will get to talk back on this matter once everybody is cool. We will discuss this matter when everybody is cool, and we will sort this out. Okay, so this has to be the approach. Otherwise, they will create a whole ruckus in the house. So you need to really teach them to be fair, to fight fairly. Okay, and also, as yesterday I had told them, you need to, when you're talking to them, you need to really talk to them with a lot of respect. When you're talking to them, the consequence should be really relatable, and please do not take any sides. Sometimes what happens, unknowingly we feel, this happens with the younger one especially, like we feel, okay, he's so small, he's tiny, and we get into that side mode, and because of which we try to favor them more, knowing that the younger one is at fault and the elder one is not. We expect the elder one to understand us, but my dear friends, this is not possible. Even the elder one is a small child. Okay, so he himself is a child in his own right. We need to understand this. Okay, so whenever we get opportunities in our day-to-day activities, we need to introduce them to, like, if we can tell them about our own experiences, that I was undergoing through this situation, and we talked about it and we sorted. Okay, so when we share our own real life examples, so it really helps them adapt the same thing in their lives. I would like to share one personal example over here. Is one of my kids and their friend, they used to go to the drums class, the music class together. So we used to, like, sometimes we used to go pick them up or drop them. So like that, we had made a deal according to our work schedule. So one day, my kid's friend's father said, Kavita ma'am, I'm so happy that your son Aryan said, he was trying to advise Aryan and Arohi and Siddhan, that it's okay if you're it's okay that if you're angry on each other, but we can sort it out when we discuss it. Okay, so the same thing was told in a story format few days back in the during the night storytelling program to them. So when we read such stories to the child, when we try to explain them, these small things start getting imbibed into their life. Okay, so that is where they start to think fairly and also react fairly. Okay, so do you all agree to this? Was this something that was a good revelation for you all? So did you all feel good? If you all feel good listening to this, something new, please type NEW new in the chat box. Okay, so going on to the next step. Okay, before even I go to the next step here, I want to give you one small tool that is that I called it as the mind, body, soul time. Mind, body, soul, MBS time. Okay, so type MBS. Do you all want to know what is this tool? If you all want to know what this is tool, type in the chat box BIO, bring it on. Then I'll share this amazing tool with you all. Bring it on. Mind, body, soul time. This is an amazing tool to kindle that relationship, that faith between the parents and the kids. Okay, amazing. So mind, body, soul time is every day, twice, you're going to spend 10 times with each kid. Suppose you have 2 kids, 10 times with your older kid, 10 minutes with your older kid and 10 minutes with your younger kid exclusively. So during that 10 minutes of your time, all your attention with your mind, body and soul is going to be with that particular child whom you have decided to do. whom you have decided to spend the time with. Okay, so when you start doing this, they start connecting even more deeper. And in those 10 minutes, do and involve in the activity that they want to do. And when y'all are doing this, y'all can always take that aspect into a form of a story and say what weaves out in that particular moment. So twice a day, 10 minutes with one kid in the morning, 10 minutes with the second kid in the morning, and 10 minutes again in the evening. This is an amazing tool. So what happens is, how this works, first is it helps you understand your child better. And trust me, when you have those 10 minutes of that mind body soul time with your kid, you will see the amount of freshness you start feeling in your life, the contentment, the happiness you start feeling in your life. Second, when you intentionally tell your child, like for me it's Arin and Arohi, so I would say, like, Arin, I want to be with this 10 minutes only with you. So what is happening here is you are paying a positive attention to your child to make him feel important. Okay, so you are giving that attention to him, and it is only and only to that particular child. That time you're not going to share that time with any other, with your next kid, or with anything else, with your phone. No phone, no TV, nothing, no husband, no wife, no. It is only you as a parent with your kid for 10 minutes. So you are paying positive attention to your kid. So basically, that whatever anger, fight, all these things, that feeling of low self-worth transforms into the form of seeking attention. So how do they seek attention? By throwing tantrums, by throwing fighting, picking up a fight, doing something that would definitely annoy you and get your attention. But then that is negative attention. So start giving this positive attention to him or her, and I would give you in return, if you ask me, how the attention seeking aspect of your child will start changing in the coming few days. Let me tell you all one thing over here. All the tips and practical tools I'm sharing, which I have myself implemented, will not get you results overnight. You need to have a lot of patience. But yes, these are battle tested with hundreds of parents that I've worked with. In the past 5 years, I've worked with n number of parents, and these have worked and they have helped them. Okay, so I'm saying you, I can give it in written that these work. So I want you all, okay, so today, tomorrow morning by 12 o'clock, I want you all to complete this, at least one assignment. Like if you have 2 kids, one session of mind, body, soul with your each kid, and you're going to share your experience. Now, there are few words of caution here. When you're going to do this mind body session with your child, you are not going to direct them, you are not going to role play them, you're not going to try to teach them anything. Okay, just be there with them, just spend the time what they want to do. If they want to even just splash in the water, splash yourself also in the water, and see what joy you get, see that in that love you feel. And I want you all to finish this by 12 o'clock and report it on the group. So are you all ready to do this? If you're all ready, and are you all excited to implement this tool? If you're all excited, type excited in the chat box. Okay. Only Chinar is excited. The others are not excited. Jayesh is excited. Too much excited. Excited. Yes. Now this excites me when y'all respond back. So that's positive attention for me as well. When y'all, give me the feedback. So just do this. Maybe tonight you want to do or tomorrow morning, and you'll see what difference you are finding in your life as well, and see how happy the child is. The child will tell you, You really want to spend time with me? If they're really older enough, like 8, 10 years old, are you serious? You want to spend only the time with me? This would definitely come up in their mouth. Okay, Samina, you'll get the recording again. So in the night, you can again watch it. Okay. Okay, amazing. Now going ahead further, what is step 3? Help when you need to and not when you don't. As I said, if you find your kids in a physical fight when you know that it is going to hurt each other, that is the time you're supposed to intervene. Intervene and say what? Stop fighting. No, do not say that. Instead, okay, you guys are seeming to be so annoyed with each other. Fine, we will discuss this once we are calm. Okay, so we will bring up this topic and we will sort it out when we are calm. Right now, I want all of us to become more calm. Okay, so this is what you need to do. Do not try to intervene there. Do not, I know I'm using a lot of do nots here because you all are elders and you all will understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, so at that particular moment, because they are both in a heated conversation, in the heated brain, because they're working from the middle brain, their emotional center, trying to gain the attention, trying to play the blame, shame, and guilt play. So that time you just stop them and ask them to shift for calm down for 15 minutes and then go ahead further. Now, I am going to share one very nice tool that I learned to manage myself. Because sometimes what happens, when the kids are fighting, you're like frustrated. So much frustration comes and you feel like, oh, let me go and interfere and, like sometimes, back them up or yell at them or shout at them. How many of y'all feel this when the siblings are fighting? Write it in the chat box. Then I'll give you an amazing tool which you can apply it in all of your activities in life. How many of you all feel frustrated when your children start fighting with each other? You also feel that Kiranji feels that. All parents feel that, Kiranji. Samina says me, yes. Okay. I feel that way, Saroji. Yes. And sometimes we do lose our temper no matter how much we try to control ourselves, and we go and do it. We go and intervene. We fuel the fight. Trust me, we fuel the fight. Okay, so what we can do is, this is called as a 5-second rule. It is given by Mel Robbins. She's an amazing self-taught personal development trainer. Okay, this is also a part of psychology wherein we shift our conscious presence of mind. Okay, this is dealt in a big way in even psychological practices. Okay, so what you need to do is, the moment you get that urge that you want to go and intervene your child, pull your kids apart, send them two different ways, or yell at them, back at them, whatever you feel, do not do it. Instead, how to modulate your anger is just close your eyes, take deep breaths, and count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and do a physical movement. Walk a little bit, move your hands. You change your position where you're standing or sitting to some other place. A physical movement is very important. So that causes a sudden shift. That 5-second window works amazingly to shift your what do you call, the trigger that you get. Okay, so if your kids are really older enough, if they are getting this, you can even teach them this. It can be even applied to anything. Sometimes we procrastinate, we want to sleep, we want to get up early in the morning, and we try to hit, the alarm is ringing, and we put it off and we sleep, and we get up, and then again we get into the guilt zone. So instead of offing it, you just use this, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and get up and sit. And that is how your mind starts shifting. This 5-second rule can be utilized in all the aspects where you want to shift your mind. Okay, so was this an amazing tool? If yes, write 80 in the chat box. Type a 80 in the chat box. So I have given you a lot of tools today. So please, I hope you all to please make notes of whatever I'm telling you all. I'm going to share this video as well so that you know you all can go back and listen to it. But there are 2 assignments that I've already given to you all, and that needs to be submitted. One is tomorrow afternoon and one is day after. Okay, cool. So what is step 4? Put them all in the same boat, which is very important. You know, somewhere we always try to, the younger ones, we try to tell them, you know, because elder kids are sometimes, you know, very silent, quiet type of kids. And the younger ones are like, you know, oh my God, hurricanes, like, you know, moving around everywhere, you know, all the hangama. So, you know, what we tell them, see your elder brother, he's so silent, why don't you be like him, right? So this has to stop. Either positive or negative comparison between both the kids have to stop. Instead, appreciate them for the unique gift they have. You know, Albert Einstein says every child is a born genius, right? So it's very important for you all to understand that genius aspect of your kids and pray and, you know, uphold him with that quality of him instead of comparing. Keep them at the same pedestal, not one is very high and one is very low. For example, I'll give you my own example, which you all will be able to correlate it easily. As all of you all know, I have twins, right? So here I would like to tell you all that my son, he has a very strong hold on English, on the language. So his linguistic intelligence is amazing. It is very strong. He reads difficult words. Even at the age of 8, he will read the newspaper crystal clear. My daughter, she is so good at drawing. She takes anything and she just starts drawing and she just starts coloring. There's a new art that is formed, you know. So these, they are at the same pedestal in 2 different fields. We need not, I'll tell you that my daughter had some issues with, you know, learning these spellings because she's a pure auditory learner. So she had these issues of spelling. So I put her for a phonics class, and that is how she learned the sounds, and she's overcome it. So if I would have said, see, Anna, we call Areen as Anna because he's the firstborn, 2 minutes elder. So he says, see, Anna knows English so better. He reads so good. See, why are you not able to do? So this would be a disaster for my daughter's confidence, right? So instead, what I do is, I always say, look, Arohi, you're so good at drawing. You're so amazing at drawing. I mean, what you want to do this? So when I start putting a lot of attention towards what they are good at, they themselves start working on their own weaknesses. For example, my daughter herself, when she was trying to struggle with a phonics thing, the worst thing, she herself said, Mama, I want to go to phonics teacher back. She had joined, and again in between she had left, and then she said, but I said, Areen doesn't need it. She said, it's okay, I am going to go myself. I want to go there, I want to learn. And the improvement that she got was like this, a skyrocketing one. She, some struggles are still there, but we are working, and she herself works on it. And when she has worked on it, she herself points it out. Okay, so she, you know, and she says, see, Mama, I did this. Okay, so that is something that really fills my heart with pride and love. Instead of, you know, feeling so bad about her shortcomings, she's working on it. So because she also knows that she's good at something, so you need to put them at the same pedestal. This is very, very important. Do you all agree to this? Are you all going to implement this? Are you all going? Negative and positive comparison karna hi nahi hai. You should not do positive or negative comparison. You know, you should just tell, you're good, you're good. You're good, then you're better than her, you're better than him, you're less than him, you're less than her. This shouldn't happen. Put them on the same pedestals that they, you know, they are where they're really good at. Being twins, I'm telling you all, their traits, their characteristics are completely different. They're North Pole, South Pole, but they're doing well. So this is what I wanted to say to you all. So do you all agree to this? Is this all clear? Type a AC in the chat box if this step is clear for all of you all. Okay. So these are the 4 steps that needs to be implemented, which could be easily implemented from this class into your lives. Start implementing this straight away from this class, and do let me know what are the results. Okay, we are going to be there in touch. We are going to be there. You're going to be there on the on the Facebook group. I want you all to be sharing your experiences there, so that you're working in 2 ways. As you know, because I also have a mission here, that I want to really, as I said in my first introductory class, that my mission is really to help 1 million parents, right? I want my mission to add on to your mission, and when y'all start sharing what y'all have experienced, it would help the other parents also to try and do it. So that's the reason I want you all to keep sharing your experiences. I am not saying you all to write only positive things. I am asking you all to share whatever you all feel. If you, in case you all are feeling stuck, I'm there to hold your hand. Okay, that's the oath that I have taken, that I'm going to stand by all the parents who are going to be associated with me. Okay, so coming to the last part of the session today, I am now opening up the session for any question and answers. So y'all can, let me stop share this. Yes, and y'all can even open your videos and also talk to me. And any question and answers, I'm open to it. Any questions? Anyone? Am I audible? Is the connection on or no?
You are audible, but no question.
No questions. Okay, Madhuri, Jayesh, Samina, or we can, you had asked. You had asked, did I answer it, Chinar? Sorry, Madhuri? No, sorry, Kadambari, I guess. What was the question you had asked? Can you please repeat? Kadambari. Kadambari, what was the question you had asked, dear?
Hello.
Yes, Kadambari, please tell.
Yes, ma'am. I had asked that when can I tell my daughter's story? She is 21 months now. So,
You should have started it
not
when she
she
was.
doesn't. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Go on. Go on.
Okay. Okay.
No, go on. She
No, ma'am.
doesn't.
Please continue.
No, you tell me. Tell me.
Yeah. Yeah. I tried it once or twice, but she wasn't responding so well. So I thought that maybe I can give some gap and then I can continue.
Okay. Okay. The answer is you need to start telling the stories since they're in your womb. That's how
Okay.
amazingly it works. I'll tell you again a small personal story here. When I was carrying my kids, my husband, every night there was a literal ritual where he used to play Justin Bieber songs. And today my kids love Justin Bieber songs. That's how it is.
Okay.
So, okay, coming back to your actual question, see, your child learns at this age in a different way. Okay, so there could, it needs to have the drama, it needs to have that song, it needs to have that musical component if needed. A big fat elephant is walking in the forest. Big fat elephant has a small baby named, so when you do that, she will start understanding it. Okay, if you want to tell the story, you have to become more creative because she's very small. Are you getting it? She's just 21 years. So she needs entertainment. So give her the stories in the form of entertainment. Okay, so you can use some musical tools, or you can, you can yourself walk, make a grumpy face if it is about a forest, if it is about a flower, something, you need to cook it up. you need to become a little more creative about it. It is very important that you start with stories right away. Do not delay it for anything.
Okay.
She will not respond right now, but when you add this drama to it, she herself will tell, Mama, story time every day. I bet you she will do this in the next 3 to 4 days itself. Okay?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Mansi says yes, audible, but you have explained it too well, so no question. Mansi, but I am still waiting for the assignments. You know me, darling, how strict a teacher I am. You have experienced me in your undergraduation as a teacher, so the same thing applies here. So I expect you to really finish your assignment so that it will help you understand and utilize this whole session in a better way. Coming to Samina is, if we lose our temper and be calm for some time and start counting, but still they're screaming and fighting with each other, then how to handle the situation? It just gets too frustrating at times when both do not listen. Elder one is 10 and younger is 3. First try to, this is a test of, I'm telling you, this is a test, right? You count it, you start. So I have given you two different things, right? First is because what is happening is, the more they fight, the more you pay attention. That is because of your frustration inside, you do more, the number of fights start increasing, and you're not allowing them or helping themselves to resolve the conflicts, right? So even if you just ignore them and you keep doing your work, but you keep your ears open, and when they have cooled down, Samina, you need to talk to them. Yes, I overheard this fight about yours. So start putting them open-ended questions. So how does that make you feel? So that is there they start opening up. They start, their bhandar of complaints or anything. So that time you should say, so how do you feel that you can handle the situation? So put the questions to them. They will come up with the answers. Trust me, they'll come up with the answers. You need not fix it. Okay, so when you stop interfering in their fights, the number of fights that happen start reducing slowly. Number 1. Number 2, when you feel this, you can again go and say, okay, wow, you both are fighting, amazing. Okay, so we will sort this out after we have a 10 minutes break. We all will go out, cool ourselves down, come with a cool head and sort this out. Okay, so you have to do this instead of, trying to, but, again, include this in your limits that you set for your kids. I had spoken about this in yesterday's class. Like, you have to set limits. They need to know what their limits are. Okay, so this is what needs to be done. Okay, and more further things, I'll give more tips. Okay, is that, I hope you got your answer, Samina. If yes, type a yes in the chat box. Okay, ma'am, I tried to transfer my baby, but even don't want to listen for 30 minutes. She's just calling mama and daddy. In this case, what should we do? We keep book in front of him and start reading. Still don't want to give attention. It's not only for reading or listening, but also for drawing, dancing, etc. Attention span is very less. Please help us how to increase this attention span. Okay, Madhuri, are you on? Can you unmute yourself? Are you on the Facebook group of mine? Are you on my Facebook group, Tantrum Cure?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes,
I have given a method called as sleep talk. A post of sleep talk is there. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you read it?
Yes, ma'am. I'm following that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm following that.
So yeah, when you're doing this, you just take a one thing at a time. Okay. So you can say, like, what you feel is the most important to him, like, reading, listening, or drawing. What is your child's name?
His name is Yug, or Kian, you can call.
Yug.
Yug.
Y-U-G.
Yug.
Yeah. So
yeah,
Yug loves, mommy loves, all that whole process. And you start tapping on you put him on his shoulders, or he's sleeping down, you start tapping on his spine, and you tell him, Yug loves to draw. Yug loves to draw. He's so good at drawing. He loves to create stories with his drawing. He loves to draw an elephant. You try this consistently for at least 2 weeks. Okay. So this would
means one sentence for 2 weeks.
Minimum. It is 3 weeks, but you'll start seeing the change in 2 weeks. In fact, if you see on the sleep talk. Is that your son in the background?
Yeah. He is
Hi,
with me.
Yog. We love you, darling. Okay.
Say hello, beta. Say hello.
Can I see him?
He just waving his hand.
Okay,
Yeah,
your
you
video
can.
is off. Your video is
Just
off.
give me. Yeah. Say hello.
Yog. He's so cute.
Say hello to auntie.
See? That's so cute. Okay,
He's
so
like,
you,
auntie. Mama. Yes. Okay. Do you want to listen? Okay.
Yog, hi. How are you?
So I'm fine, auntie.
कशा
How are
आहे
you?
तू कशा आहे छान Okay, coming back to the topic, you need to start
Bye.
doing this. If you see the sleep talk, the comment section, there is one or two people who have already got results with it. Okay, and sleep talk is amazing. It works. Okay, start using this for attention span. I'll put up few more posts on the group. Okay, but start reading those stories. Let him not pay attention. Eventually, he will start following it. As I told, even for Chinar, I guess you need to include the drama completely.
Okay.
पूरा drama include करके उसको कैसा पता उसको कैसे उसका attention रखना है. These all people, they are learning visually, they're learning hearing, so you need to include that song, that drama, that facial expressions, then the child will start getting involved. Okay, any other questions?
Okay, and yes ma'am, one more question. Actually वो अभी स्कूल जाने लगा है, तो जस्ट मैंने मैम से पूछा उसके बारे में, तो वो मुझे बोली कि एक्चुअली वो दूसरों की चीजें भी स्नैच करता है, जाके फूड भी मीन्स छीनता है उससे, कुछ भी उनके हाथों में रहता है वो भी छीनता है. तो ऐसा क्यों? हम लोग तो उसको बहुत बार समझा कि ये आपका है तो वो आप ले लो, ये दूसरों का नहीं लेना है, बट फिर भी वो वही करता है.
अगर मैं आपको बोलूं कि आप माधुरी आप इधर मत जाओ, तो आपका मन क्या करेगा? आपका मन उधर जाने का मन करेगा, समझ रहे हो आप?
हाँ, right,
yeah. So instead you tell him, well, you have got the best pencil. Okay, you have to see, these all things take a lot of time. Understand? You need to understand why he's snatching. Why is he snatching? You need to understand that. But the reason, once you find out the reason why, is it because it is really good, or he is not having, because that is coming from lack. When somebody tries
Ma'am,
to snatch,
even food we share, we eat our dinner. That time also we give same food in his plate, but still he wants to eat from his father plate or from my plate, but he don't want to touch his own plate. And one more thing, but he don't want to give his food as well, but he want to take from others' plate.
Yeah, that's a very strong indication of feeling of lack from within. So and he's also he's also taking attention. So what you do is, when he is taking from your plate, you all start taking it from his plate. Okay, so this will help help him at least try and inculcate the habit of sharing. Okay, and I need to do an in-depth analysis for this, because there's a complete pro forma that we follow, that why is this happening. There are a lot of leading questions, but this would be unfair right now to discuss. We'll surely discuss it sometime. Yes?
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Any other questions? We are good to go. We are already 1 hour. Chinar, yes, Chinar? Last 4 minutes for the questions. Dear, your voice is breaking. Your voice is breaking. Can you type?
Yeah, sorry. Okay.
Chinar, आपकी voice में disturbance है. Can you please type your question? Is that okay? I can't hear you.
Sure, ma'am. That's okay.
You can send it to me privately as well on the chat if you don't want to write. So that's also fine.
Okay, ma'am. I'll send you in the group itself.
Yeah, sure. I'll send a voice note to you. Okay. Any other questions, Samina, Sarojji, Jayeshji? Okay, so we're good to end for today. And before we end, I want you all to take up. I'm really excited to know who is going to win the diamond, gold, and silver star parents in my class. Okay, so I'm going to give you all points. So let's see who is going to win it. So tomorrow by 12 o'clock, you're going to have the MBA session completed and report it on the group. And day after also, you have another assignment that I have given y'all. So I am looking at it and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so we will end the meeting here for today. I'll share the recording again in some time by end of night. Once it gets downloaded, I'll post it on YouTube and I'll share it with y'all. Is it clear, or is that okay with all of with all of y'all? If yes, if you have found some value in this in today's session, please type value to encourage me in the chat box. Amazing. I am, as I had wrote in the group last night, my heart is overwhelmed actually, because I had this technical goof up that happened, and I have learned a lesson that I'm not supposed to store anything on the desktop which can get easily wiped away. That's the reason I've extended it for 3 more days, and I'm going to add a lot more value to this, all the people who have trusted me and become a part of this. So I also, from my heart, I really want to thank you all and be in gratitude for accepting all that has happened in these few days. Thank you so much. I'm really in deep gratitude to each one of y'all to take out the time and be with me in this amazing journey of parenting. Okay, thank you so much, each one of you. Madhuri, Sarojji, Chinnar, Jayeshji, Samina, Kadambari, Mansi, and Kiranji. Thank you so much, all of y'all, for being here. So I end this